Okay, guys, I'm going to give you a quick rundown on Kami. Kami, Kami, up here, is a tool you can use to edit PDFs. PDFs are a pretty common file type. These are some things I did over the last couple of years. These are normally things I did in person with my kids, but when we moved to online learning, it became very, very difficult. It's always tough for me. I teach special ed math, and a lot of my kids, they might not have any mental deficiencies, but they might have some physical disability that prevents them from, you know, really typing or using those types of tools. And typing in math can be very, very cumbersome. So I'm going to show you this is exceptionally useful for me, and I'm really happy it's something I've taken away from this technology class. I know it seems silly. I know it's just a PDF editor, but like for me, this is a super useful thing. So I'm going to show you guys a little lesson I do with my kids. So this is to tell you how many degrees are in a polygon. Now, normally I used to have my kids fill this out by hand. And listen, a lot of them are capable of typing, but like I said, typing math can be very cumbersome. So let's talk about our first polygon, which is a triangle. So a little vocabulary in there. Again, throw in my text box, and this is, we're going to talk about a triangle. How many sides does a triangle have? Again, 3 sides. How many triangles are in a triangle? 1. And what's the sum of the interior angles? Again, 180 degrees. Okay, so typing it, not too bad. I use the text box function over here. I just kind of fill it in going across. Okay, the option I like is that I have some of my students are better off using an iPad, or I have some little kind of tablet touchscreen devices. Here, I'll show on my webcam for a second. I have a couple of these that I got the school to order. They're super cool. They come with a little stylus, little pen, so you can write on them. And that's very useful for some of my kids with limited mobility. So I'm gone. So again, if I said, hey, here is a quadrilateral, here's a 4-sided figure. So I'm going to go ahead and break out my drawing tool. I'm sorry, my shape tool. And I'm going to say, well, I can break a quadrilateral down into 2 triangles. Notice the degree things in there. As a math teacher, I love that. But here we are, and now I have 2 triangles. So what am I going to say? Quadrilateral has what? 4 sides. I can break that down into 2 triangles. And what am I going to say? Well, again, 180 times 2 triangles means 360 degrees. Oh, 360 degrees, okay? Again, you can write that using an equation writer, so maybe I'll do the next one with an equation writer. You have a little equation thing here, right? The next one's going to be 3. I don't want to give away too much, but it'll be 180 times 3 is equal to 540. Okay, so again, with the equation writer, notice it's a little bit tougher. So if I go back here, here's my pentagon. I can break my pentagon into 3 triangles, right? Using all the outside angles. I know I'm going through this kind of fast, but the point is to use Kami. Okay, so there's my 3 triangles, 1, 2, 3 of them. And what would I say? Well, I would say that's a pentagon that has 5 sides that you can break down into 3 triangles. 3 times 180 would be 540. Again, oops, pentagon. Okay. Again, the idea of this is they're going to recognize the patterns in there. But the last one I want to show you, and this is what's really useful for me, especially with complex equations and things like that, where you can just screen write. So I'm going to go over here. Here's my hexagon. I'm using my little pen, but you can use an iPad if you wanted to. And I'm going to say insert line. I'm going to say there's 1 line. Right, and so what can I do? I can break a hexagon down into, what do we got? 4 triangles, right? So again, what am I going to say? I'm going to go over here. I'm going to move to the drawing tool. And I'm going to say, well, and again, it's a hexagon, right? It's a hexagon. It has 6 sides, 4 triangles, and 180 times 4 is going to be, was it 720? So again, the idea is they're going to recognize a pattern here, a pattern here, a pattern here. What I'm more concerned about is the best way for my students to get their information across, and I think Kami is a really good option for that.